that I had to make my bed before I go to the bathroom. Right? Before, that's the first thing you do in the morning. You go to the bathroom, you come back, you make your bed, and then my bed had to be made before I left to go to school, period. Okay? Uh-huh. But he made up some BS because I didn't make my bed before I went to the bathroom. We're not going. Wow. And I said to him, Dad, let's be honest. We weren't going anyway. And he was like, well, you never know. I'm like, no, I know.
You already knew.
I already knew. So I think it, for me, I'll if I have the means, I'm going to go to a sporting event. And yes, I want Nick to have those memories.
Grass or turf?
Turf.
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor.
TV or movie?
Movie.
Baseball or basketball?
Basketball.
Beef or chicken?
Ooh, I'm about to eat both. Steak. So beef. I go with beef.
This is gonna tell your age. Tecmo Bowl or Madden?
Oh man, I love Tecmo Bowl. I grew up on Tecmo Bowl, Bo Jackson, but Madden, man, because Madden's NCAA is about to drop, but Madden, man, I've been raised on Madden, so.
LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan, easily, man. So, Jordan. So the name is Jordan Michael. So I'm named after Michael, born in '84. You know what I'm saying? There's no other GOAT when it comes to Michael, man. So
all right, this is a tough one as a Cowboy fan. Romo or Dak?
Dak.
How did you fall in love with the Cowboys, man, that made you become this Canadian Cowboys super fan? What happened, man, that made the Cowboys show up on your radar?
So I would say the NFL started getting really big in Canada probably NFL Network ad. Hey, like once NFL Network came out,
yep.
You got that exposure, like a lot of exposure. We finally got to see stuff about the draft, and you had a channel that you could literally tune into NFL football all the time. At the same time, Adam and I had both started playing fantasy football. I had watched football occasionally before that, but I would say for me, diehard, like as a fan, my first year actually watching football and like picking a team was the year that Bledsoe got replaced by Tony Romo. And
my first thing, dude, that caught me off guard because I text all my guests, hey man, give me where you were born, blah blah blah, and when it said Santa Ana, California, it threw me off. I say, man, I thought this man was born and raised in Texas.
I knew I threw you for a loop there. That's the first thing I told the wifey. I said, I threw him for a loop. And she's like, you told him? I said, I told him I was born in Cali.
How about the Cowboys?
What's up? What is up, Cowboy fans and Conversation with Chris fans? How y'all doing? Hope you having a beautiful weekend, a happy Sunday, Sunday fun day, because we're going to end the Sunday fun day with some fun. Man, my very special guest, he's my friend, he's my brother, my homie, is my man, Super Cowboy. What's up, man?
What's going on? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Say, Super Cowboy, hey man, it's been a minute. I was gonna try to catch you when you was at training camp. I said, no, I want him to be home. I want him to be comfortable. I don't want him to try to fight to find a computer or anything. And I think it's perfect time in the last preseason game, and we getting prepared for the season, man. Welcome to the Conversation with Chris, man. I'm so happy that you're here, man. How you doing today, brother?
Thank you. I'm good. I think I lost a couple pounds yesterday from all that heat and sweat, but I'm doing good. Just chilling. This is the perfect time of the year where you're just waiting for the storm to hit. We got 2 weeks to go, so I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Man, doing good. Just chilling here. I'm a lot cooler here in Colorado than you are in Texas, man. Believe me, been there all my life. I know what those Texas summers are, especially though. Hey, I don't know if you were Super Cowboy when they were still playing at the old Texas Stadium. I don't think you could have lasted because with your mask on and your shoulder pads.
No, man, no, not really. Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah,
but I still wonder how people, you didn't see too many people dressing up around that time.
No, because the old Texas Stadium, it wasn't no air conditioning at all. You had a little shade on one side of the stadium, but everything else, it was a steam bath. Believe me. But look, man, we I do conversation with Chris, so the fans can get to know the person behind the mask, okay? And then how? Not yet. We ain't gonna do that. Hey, we ain't gonna expose you on this show, okay? so and then we're gonna talk about when you put on the mask, okay?
Yes, sir.
So, let's go, man. Right off the bat, man. We're gonna do this, man. When were you born, Super Cowboy?
I was born 1982. 1982. In San Bernardino, California.
San Bernardino. Okay.
Yeah. San
Bernardino. So San Bernardino, how long did you stay? Because I know you're in Texas now.
Yes, sir.
Did you grow up your entire childhood in California?
No, actually, when I was about 5 years old, we moved to Tijuana, Mexico.
Okay.
So I grew up in Mexico until I was 8 years old.
Okay.
I was 8 years old. I came back to the LA area, not San Bernardino, but actually LA County, specifically North Hollywood. That's kind of where I grew up, where I went to elementary, middle school, and high school. It was North Hollywood. So I'm a North Hollywood High School alumni.
North Hollywood. Okay, for us that's not familiar, when you think of Hollywood, all you think about is the movie stars and the fancy cars, the fancy houses. But apparently, there's two sides to Hollywood, right?
Yes, there's a North Hollywood. So what's kind of famous a little bit about North Hollywood is it's Universal Studios is there. It's Universal City, but pretty much is like right there where North Hollywood is. And then Ventura Boulevard. So Ventura Boulevard is actually right next to North Hollywood. So the stars live up in the mountains, and us little people live in North Hollywood. And the famous North Hollywood is the shooting, that bank robbery. They made a movie and all that.
Yeah. Okay. So you said that until 8 years old you were in Tijuana,
Mexico. I didn't know anything about U.S. sports.
Okay.
All I knew was wrestling. So that kind of gives you a hint.
Right.
Mexican wrestling, and then a little bit of soccer. Not too much. It was mostly wrestling. That's all I knew when I was a kid in Mexico. As they actually had wrestlers come to the school.
Okay.
So they would put up a ring, and then the wrestlers would come and do a little show for the kids and stuff like that. So that's all I knew. I just knew wrestling, and the cool thing about it that you have superheroes. You got Batman and Superman and all that. Well, I had Blue Demon, which is the guy that I wear kind of the mask of, and then you had El Santo, which wears the kind of silver mask. So those were our superheroes as kids, because there's movies where they would be fighting vampires and zombies and stuff like that. So they would come in with their mask and they would fight the vampires and stuff like that. So that was just my superheroes. Yeah, I didn't know anything about Superman or any of that stuff, man. I just knew the wrestlers, and my dad knew wrestlers, so it was pretty cool to meet wrestlers with mask on and that tradition that the wrestlers have with the mask, that you don't see them without it, kind of what they do as a Mexican tradition as wrestlers. Right. So that's kind of what I only knew. I only knew wrestlers, but when I moved here in 1990, I moved back to the LA area. I just started hearing here and there. You know, I mean, I didn't really know English, so Spanish was my first language. So I didn't know anything about the NFL or football. Or I would hear my cousins name a team, and usually it was the Raiders. So most of my family are Raider fans. Here and there's 49er fans, but all I heard was the Raiders. Something because they were still in LA, you know, early 90s.
Right.
So that's all I knew. Like, what Raiders? What is that? I didn't know what it was.
So was it now? Are the parents originally from Tijuana?
No, my dad is from Guadalajara, Jalisco.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is from a town called Cuauhtémoc, Colima, which is on the beach side. But my dad's family, most of them moved to Tijuana, and then most of them live in San Diego.
Okay.
So, like, my dad lives in Tijuana right now. He has a house in Tijuana, and that's mostly where he lives. He crosses over to San Diego and hangs out there. He has an apartment, I think, in San Diego, but mostly he's in Tijuana. So they just love living in Tijuana. So Tijuana is like my home for me. I love going to Tijuana. Yeah.
When the last time you been to Tijuana?
It's been a while, man. I miss it. So, like, you know, I moved over here, but when I was in LA, when I got my first car, I was like, every weekend I will pick up my cousins and my aunt, and we would just roll up to Tijuana. So every single weekend we leave Friday, come back Sunday. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's only like 2.5 hours from LA. So
right.
You're there, you hang out, go to the beach, go eat, hang out at my uncle's house, my aunt's house, and then come back. So it's been a while. I want to say, 2008.
Okay.
2008. Last time I was there, if I can remember right. Yeah, 2008. I think I've been to the airport real quick, but I don't really count it as actually going to Tijuana. It's just go to the airport, pick somebody up, and come back. But 2008 is the time where I actually went and hanged out and did the whole thing. So it's been a while. I want to go.
I'm surprised, since I know you go to training camp every year, that you don't make that pilgrimage too, you know, since you be in SoCal, you know. I'm gonna put that on your mind for next year. So, you know, when you're there next year, you know, hey, I'm gonna go to Tijuana.
Absolutely. The only thing that stops me is my passport's not up to date.
Oh, yeah. Before you didn't need that. Yeah, you need one now.
No, you just show your ID, American citizen, and that's it. You're there and back. Like, easy peasy. But now it's like, you know, you got to go through all these things.
Yeah. I understand. Hey, that's why, man, Cowboy, I don't care where I am. I got my passport in my backpack just in case.
Yeah.
just in case they need a second form of ID, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, if you don't mind, what's your dad's first name?
Miguel. It's the same as mine.
So are you a junior?
Yes, I am.
All right. So what did Dad do for a living?
He worked in San Diego. So we lived in Tijuana, right? Mm-hmm. But he would cross every day to go to work in San Diego. And he worked for a small company that made frames for like picture frames. So all kinds of different frames. That's what he did for a very long time. And he would cross every morning, like he's just going to work. It was, hey, I'm going to work.
I guess
get in line, cross over.
Yeah, that's the good thing by living in a border town, right? You know, but that you could do that, you know. But
yes.
I don't think he could be able to do it now without a passport, right? He couldn't do. Is he retired now? Is he retired? Does he still work?
He's retired. But they have these things like now that if you work in San Diego and you're living in Mexico, they have these they call them Sentry lines, where you have a pass, and with that pass you just fly through. Like they already know you're going to work, and they check your car real quick. But it's a thing where it's quicker. You just have to pay like a yearly fee or something like that, but it gets you in quicker. Yeah. Okay. But you know, he's retired, so he don't have to worry about that.
Does he just prefer to live in Mexico?
Yeah, I mean, I would too.
A lot cheaper, huh? Probably a lot
cheaper. Everything is just, you know, it's different. Everything's different in Mexico. Just the food. I don't know if you maybe you've been to on vacation to Mexico, but Like they have Domino's down there and Pizza Hut.
Mhm.
But if you try that pizza, man, this is the best pizza I've ever had.
Really?
The ingredients, because the ingredients are more fresh. You know, they don't have all those preservatives and stuff that they have here in the U.S.
Right.
So like just all the food, the flavor down there, like even regular food, like I said, like pizza, Domino's and stuff like that. It's just the greatest pizza I've ever had. And I don't know now, but when I bought pizza when I was down there, it was unlimited toppings for the
Uh-huh.
price.
Wow.
They don't
Okay.
charge you for the extra toppings. Back then, it was been a couple of years since I've been down there, but I was kind of like amazed about that. Like, what? You're not gonna charge me extra? I'm like, no, whatever you want. I'm like, put all the meats,
Meat lovers. Every meat that you got in
whatever
there.
you got, put it on there.
That's awesome, man. Now, do you mind? Hey, your mom's first name. What's your mom's first name?
Rosa.
Rosa. Is mom still alive?
Yes, she
Okay.
is.
Is she in Tijuana also, or Cali? Where
No,
is she?
she's in LA, in North Hollywood. She's still in
Okay.
North Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah.
So she prefer America.
Yeah, well, she did buy a house recently, so she might be going back, but to her town in Colima. So she bought a house over there, and she's half and half, mostly a little bit over there, and then comes back and back and forth. But yeah, I think pretty much everybody just prefers Mexico at this point.
and where did you say Colima was?
Colima is it's a beach town. It's
Okay.
a beach state. So it's Mazatlan is one of their big beaches there, in Manzanillo, Colima, Manzanillo. So she's about an hour, I think, away from the beach. So yeah, that's
All right.
the cool state.
Cool. Now, do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do have a younger brother. He was born in '90.
Okay.
So he's a lot younger than me. And recently he started doing Super Ram. So he's a Rams fan. So that's my brother. His name is Jesse.
Yeah. I think I got a picture of him. Hold on. There he is, right there.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, Super
That's my
Rams.
younger brother.
And his name is Jesse, right?
Jesse, yes.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
And the funny thing is that he was born in San Diego.
He's born in San Diego. Okay.
Yeah, so I always tell him, like, dude, how come you're not a Charger fan? Like, that's where you were born. You were born in San Diego. And he's like, no, I'm a Rams fan. I'm a Rams fan. I said, all right.
Well, Sue Cowboy, everybody ain't perfect, bro. You know that. You know, I tell this story all the time. My son's a Commander fan.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
kid, but hell, he's a Commander fan. I was just like, I may have dropped him when he was young. I don't know, but
Man. I tell you, man, like my kids, you met my kids, and my kids are not into football. They're not into sports.
Right.
But no matter what, they're like, no, Cowboys. Anybody says, hey, let's go for this team. My brother, you go Rams. Nope, go Cowboys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like since day one, I guess I don't know what I did with them, but I don't know what I would do especially in the same division. Like, oh, I'm gonna be an Eagles fan or something. I'm like, oh, hell no.
I know that's right, brother. Cowboys for life all the time. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's go back to your high school years, man. So you were in high school. Did you play any sports in North Hollywood?
I did. I didn't play until my junior year. My freshman year and sophomore year, I didn't play anything. And it was because old school parents, old school mom. She didn't know anything about sports. I did play soccer, like at the park, where they have the soccer teams and all that. I did play that for a couple of years before high school. And then when I got to high school, I didn't play anything my 9th and 10th grade. But I wanted to. A lot of my friends were in the football team, and I was like, man, I want to play.
Right.
And they're like, well, why don't you play? I'm like, well, my mom won't let me. She said no. She said that I have to go pick up my little brother after school and bring him home. So I can't. Who's going to pick him up? I have to go pick him up. So I couldn't do it 9th and 10th grade, and then 10th grade summer was coming up, and I said, Mom, I'm going to join the football team, or at least try. I'm going to try out.
Uh-huh.
And then she was like, all right, go ahead. I'll figure out, how to get your brother and all that. And yeah, I tried out, and I played my junior year high school, and then I played my senior year of high school.
Okay.
So yeah, 2 years of football.
What position did you play?
I played lineman.
Okay.
I played offensive line, and mostly I love defense. I played nose guard on defense. So I played defense, but I was the backup guard. I didn't play guard really in the games, but defense and a lot of special teams for sure.
Yeah. I used to love you nose guards. I used to abuse y'all a lot when I played center.
Yeah, man. We got beat up, man, because you got 3 against 1 in that nose. If you're playing the 3-4, man, like you got 2 guys coming at you all the time. So it was fun, man. I had a lot of fun. I wish I could go back and do that, But yeah, I played a lot of nose.
Dude, man, you brought up a memory when you said you used to have to go pick up your little brother and everything while you were in school. I had the same thing when I was in high school. My mom had just had a baby, and I had a little sister. So, the teenagers in the house was basically the babysitters.
Yes.
And my sister had choir practice. I had football practice. So my sister would go home and grab our little sister, take her to choir practice with her at school. When I got out of football practice, I would go get her out of choir practice and take her home, feed her and everything. So I know, being that older child, the responsibilities that you have, hey, it just rang a bell. I was like, yep, I had to do that. Yep, I did that too.
Yes, man, definitely.
It's a part of it. Hey, bro, did you attend college anywhere?
No, I did community college a little bit. So no, not really. I took a couple classes, and I tell my kids now, I'm like, I want you guys to go to college. I said, but for me, I don't know. It wasn't for me. Like I didn't do it. I took a couple classes, community college, and I didn't like it. I didn't go. I didn't continue it. So I didn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked me, hey man, why did you go to college? And my answer would be simple. Play football. I played football. I hated school. I hated homework. It sucked. It was just a means for me to play sports.
Yeah, and then what happened with me is I was a big kid, right? I was a big fat kid, but I was short. And then by 10th grade, I was like 280, like 5'7" probably at the time. And by my senior year, I lost a bunch of weight because I had never like gone through, training like that, like football training and stuff like that. So drinking so much water and just working out so much, I lost a bunch of weight. I went to 180, so I lost 100 pounds.
Wow, just by playing sports. Wow.
By playing football, I lost 100 pounds. So my senior year, I was a skinny dude still playing
nose guard.
Yeah, nose guard, man. So I was getting pushed around all over the place, man. So like, I never thought like, I'm going to continue, or I didn't. Recently I was thinking about it. Like, I don't know why I didn't change to like linebacker or something else. Like, I don't know why my coaches just kept me like, all right, you're defensive lineman, keep playing lineman. I was like, why didn't they change me to something else? Like, I was skinny, like, I don't know. So I never thought about actually playing sports. But years later, I want to say about 6 years later, my coach in high school started coaching a semi-pro team.
Okay.
And then by then, of course, I went back. I was in 180. Right. So I actually played a couple of games for the semi-pro team called the California Dolphins.
Okay.
So the uniform's exactly like the Miami Dolphins, but it was the California Dolphins. I had the California logo behind the Dolphin. And I played a couple of games with them, and then I was working at the time, so they changed my schedule, and I couldn't continue playing. But I did play a little bit of semi-pro.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now I knew you were from California.
Yeah.
when did you move to Texas?
I came in 2019,
2019.
July
Now,
2019.
What was the reason for the move to Texas?
We were just fed up,
Mhm.
you know, kind of fed up with everything going on over there. And we talked about it for a while about moving to Texas and just having a better life for the kids. So you kind of always talk about stuff and you kind of need that push. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And the push was that I got laid off.
Mhm. Okay.
So the work that I was doing at the time, I was a video editor. So I was working on some HBO stuff, you know, feature movies and stuff like that. And I love my job, man. I mean, I was there in that place for 17 years. So I loved what I was doing. But once they moved from tape to files to streaming, they figured out, why pay this guy here where we could just send the file to India. They could edit it, do it for 14 cents an hour and send the file back.
Right.
So why do we have all these people here making, you know, all this money? So they just started doing layoffs and layoffs and layoffs. And I was part of the last layoffs. And that was just kind of the push where I was like, all right, let's see what's gonna go down in Texas, because we're gonna move to Texas. So that was the push. That was the push to come over here. We came over here and visited and stayed for a week and looked around. I never had the money to come to a Cowboy game, so that kind of goes with the Texas Stadium. I never went to Texas Stadium, which kind of, I kicked my own butt about that. Like, man, I never went there and checked it out.
Right.
I never had the money to fly over here or drive over here. But we came and we checked it out, and we came for a game. Forget the year, but it was the year that Romo got hurt. But the season opener was at home here against the Giants. That's the first game I ever came to see here at AT&T. And he won against the Giants at the end. He threw it to Jason Witten and scored a touchdown and won the game. So that was my first game here in AT&T. But that week we were here checking out Texas because we went to Utah. I have family in Utah. We went to Utah and you know, it was pretty cold at the time when we went. So we're like, it's too cold here. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go check out Texas instead. We had visited here just for like 2-3 days, and we came over here and we're like, yeah, this is it. So if anything goes down, we're coming to Texas. So that was the push, and here we come, 2019. So yeah, and
So
it went from being little nobody to now being super cowboy.
So did you or your wife have relatives here in Texas, or you guys just wanted to get here?
No, we don't have anyone here. We have friends. The wife has friends here that you know, when we came to visit, they said, hey, you guys could stay with us. So I saw the comment. I could have been a Mormon. The wife had friends here, so we came to visit them, and that pretty much to this day we do. I mean, I do have a cousin, like an older cousin, but I haven't met up with him. I don't think he. I don't even know if he knows I live here.
Maybe it's because the mask, Super Cowboy.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
don't recognize you under the
I
mask.
probably ran into him. Who knows?
Yeah.
I have an older uncle too that lives up in Denton, but I haven't really, you know, I haven't seen him in a long time. So we do have, you know, 2 family members here, but it's family members that kind of like, you know, from a long distance. Like, we don't really talk to them or know them that well. But yeah, we're pretty much the only ones here. My brother was here for a year, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know about this frequent visitor. He's always at your house.
Yeah.
DJ Kai.
It's family right there.
Yeah, of course it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
he's been here a lot more than our family has been here.
that's wild. So now we're going to get into why everybody tuned in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How did you become Super Cowboy?
I thought you were gonna tell me to take the mask off. Nice.
No. We're not gonna do that. I told you there's no unmasking here. Hey, before you get started, I know his real name. I know what he looked like under the mask. I say, but it's the thing when you taught me about lucha libres and their identity and how important it is. I was honored that you actually took your mask off around me because that felt like, okay, we're friends, we're family. You know, I will never disclose your identity. I will to this day on this live taping, I would never say your real name unless you want it said. So, how did you become Super Cowboy?
So it all started living in California, going to Cowboy games. You know, when the Cowboys played the Chargers in San Diego, I would go down there. And I will wear a mask. Just a mask, and then like I will get a flag and put it around my neck and run around the stadium. It started like that, just for fun, you know. And I would go to basketball games. I tried to do baseball games, but they wouldn't let me wear the mask. And it was just that. It was just fun doing it. And then 2016, I mean, I lived in LA. So there was no football team there. The closest was San Diego,
right,
or going up to San Francisco and Oakland. So when the Rams moved to LA, I was like, all right, cool. You know, the Rams are here now. I'm like, now I could watch my boys when they come play the Rams. Right. And that's exactly what happened. So it was a preseason game against the Cowboys at the Coliseum, at the LA Coliseum. And that day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to add some stuff to what I've been wearing. You know, you get that itch. I'm like, yeah, I got me my sleeves, some Cowboy sleeves that they sell on the pro shop. And I put on, at that time, I was looking for a mask. So I was like, I got to get a mask that kind of matches with my jersey. Mm-hmm. And I went to this little shop that has all these different Mexico masks and luchador masks. And I was looking around and I was like, man, do I go with a white one? Do I go with a silver one? And the blue them one, I mean, it just popped. I was like, boom, blue jersey. I'm like, you know what? And it has silver on it too. Blue and silver. Perfect. So I grabbed that. I went to the game. I put my little flag as a cape. And just it was a different experience because people were coming up to me like, hey, let me get a picture with you. Hey, can my son take a picture with you? And that just opened up my fandom. You know, I was like, dude, this is cool. Like to hang out and take pictures with kids. And even though I got my first hate there, I think I want to say we lost that game. And I'm walking and I'm with the mask on. I didn't even think about not taking it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even think about, do the tradition thing. It was just for fun, but I was like, I'm going to keep it on. So the game's over. I'm walking towards my car, and some Rams fan, he's like, well, I would wear it too if I was wear a mask if I was a Cowboys fan. And I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Then you knew you were doing something right then.
Yeah. Yeah. So just for that, I'm not going to take it off.
Exactly. Russell said,
Yeah,
Russell say do what you love what you do. Go Cow. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, because when we first met, I was like, man, he got to be hot as hell. I mean, it's beginning of the season. I say, man, he got his mask on, he got on his shoulder pads, he got pants. You in full gear. You got your cowboy boots on, you got your sleeves on, your gloves on. And matter of fact, I'm gonna bring this picture up again. These heavy chains that you have on. I was like, dude, that's a lot of gear to wear in Texas, and this is before you even get in the stadium, before you can try to cool off. So
yes.
Are you used to this by now, brother?
I'm getting there. So see, I used to wear all that stuff over there. And in California, I mean, you can't compare the weather to Texas weather. So that's why I started doing that over there. Like I started wearing the shoulder pads, and the shoulder pads are the ones I wore when I played semi-pro. Mm-hmm. So I had them, you know, in the garage, and I was like, well, I'm gonna put these on and put my jersey on, and it's just regular shorts and some tennis shoes, some cowboy tennis shoes. Right. So I was like, I started that way, and it was cool because it wasn't a big deal. I mean, it gets hot a little bit, but it's during the summer, and by September we're good. But once
Right.
I came over here in 2019, and I came in July,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Ooh, my God!" I'm like, "All right, this is different. This is different." But I was like, "You know what? Nah, I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna keep it the same, and I'm just gonna roll with it." So I just
So-
started adding stuff to it.
So the tradition of the mask, were you just paying homage to your Hispanic community? Because when we talked about you growing up in Mexico and your dad knowing wrestlers, was that the reason why you chose to put the mask on?
Yeah, so it's known in soccer games. You'll see a lot of masks, like in Mexican soccer games.
Mhm.
A lot of people wear masks. They have different team masks with their logo of their soccer team. So it's something that they do. So I started doing it because of that. At first, I was like, oh, put on a mask. I'm Mexican American. So let me put a mask on and go to the games. Let me bring that to football. And then once I started wearing it, what I started doing was going to. There's so many Cowboy fans in California that they have fan clubs.
Okay.
So I met a lot of people from SCDC FC. It's funny because, on my truck, I had a Cowboy sticker and all that. And somebody put the card for the fan club. And I was like, what is this?
Mhm.
A fan club. So when I started doing the 818 Diehards as part of the SCDC FC, Anthony called me up and said, hey, I'm going to start a club in the valley where we live. He's like, can you help me out? Like, can you come out and help me out? And I was like, yeah, I'll help you. That'd be awesome to have a Cowboy fan, club here and in the valley. They call it the San Fernando Valley.
Mhm.
I was like, absolutely. And I said, and I got something better than that. So he didn't know anything. First game of the season, we're going to go to a watch party. We have a whole restaurant for us, a bunch of Cowboy fans. And Super Cowboy shows up.
the first appearance of Super Cowboy was in California. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So that's where it started, and he loved it, man. He's like, "Oh, that's badass," but he didn't know it was me at first. He's like, "Miguel," and I was like, "What's up, man?" But I didn't have a name. It was just Miguel dressed up.
Mhm.
That's it. So yeah, so I would just dress up, like I said, football pads, and there's a picture where I added spikes. I wanted to do a little bit like Violator from the Raiders.
Yeah,
I'm like, I add some spikes to my shoulder pads.
the Road Runners look, the wrestling Road Runners look with the spikes.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So I added spikes, but they kept falling off.
Okay.
So I was like, man, the hell with these spikes. But that's where it started. And then the name came up. I was actually going through different names. There was going to be 818 Cowboy or something like that because, the area code I'm from is 818.
Mhm.
There was a bunch of different names, and then just Super Cowboy came up, like Super Cowboy, like Superman, Super Cowboy. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah. So went with that. Super Cowboy. It started on Instagram, started on Facebook, and then for the next couple of seasons, we were just doing watch parties there. And then that's when I got laid off, and I had the whole Super Cowboy thing going on, and just cheering on everybody at the watch parties. And then we moved here, and from here it's just skyrocketed to changing, to adding boots, to adding player socks, to adding player pants. And the chains and all that, started adding all that stuff to it. But yeah, from there to here, it's just been awesome. I've been blessed, really been blessed, all the stuff that's been going on since 2019.
Now, this is something, man, becoming a super fan.
Yes.
People think it's easy. I seen the things that you go through, brother.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis, a daily basis, even on the game day. I seen it because
Yeah.
we lived close to each other. You invited me to things where you
Yes.
participated. Being a super fan is another job,
Oh yeah.
brother. I mean, because Philly sports guy Jamie. I know Jamie. I know Birdman on the West Coast.
Yes.
I met the Super Lion on your show. Is that what he called himself? The Super Lion?
Lion Man.
Lion
Yeah.
Mane.
Yeah.
All these super fans, right?
Yeah.
It's another job. I know a lot of people want to know, are the Cowboys sponsoring you? Because do you go to drafts? You go to games? Does the Cowboys sponsor you, or is this all out of your pocket?
Sadly, since they're worth $10 billion, sadly, it comes out of my pocket. It comes out of my pocket. I am blessed to be invited by the Cowboys to say, hey, we have a spot for you at the draft. We have a seat here for you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to come? Are you able to make it? So, and then it's up to me to figure out how to get there.
Right. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
because people, when you do turn on the TV, the first probably super fans you see is you or True Blue.
Yes.
Or I forget his name, the one with the
Jaime.
big ball on his
Jaime. Yeah. Oh, Wrecking Ball too. Wrecking
Wrecking
Ball.
Ball.
Is actually the one that makes the helmets. Yeah.
Yes. So man, the opportunities of a super fan and then the cost and everything. So I know you work for a living too. So
Yes.
do you pre-plan? I mean, at your job, look, I got to do this, I got to do that,
Mhm.
and are your bosses cool with it?
Yes. I mean, I've been at my new job for about a year and a half, and I was trying to keep it, the down low, not to let them know what I do. You know what I'm saying? But the truck gives it away. My picture's on my truck, my name is on the truck, my social media. So they find out what it is. They're cool with it, and I let them know sometimes if something is going on. Then I say, hey, can I leave a little early? I got this interview going on, or whatever it is, and they're really cool about it. I'm really glad that I have this job where they're like very flexible, like going to the draft or going to training camp. Of course I have the time off. So I already have it planned out, but they're pretty cool about saying, yeah, definitely. And especially they're cool with it because of the community part that I do also, not just because I'm Super Cowboy and I do this and that, but also they know that I'm putting time to do other things that they like that I do. So definitely, yeah, they're cool with it.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, I was like, man, Miguel has to provide for the family too. And being a super fan is not cheap, but there are perks of being a super fan, right? So
Right.
this is one of them here, man. When I saw this, you and Roger Goodell,
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, Super Cowboys met Roger Goodell.
Yeah, man.
He's met every first round draft pick for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man. That's what I said. Like, it's crazy to me. To this day, I still think about it because I would watch the draft at home, like everybody else. Like, I would watch it at home. It was in New York most of the time. And I was like, I would see fans there. I'm like, man, one day I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to be one of those fans in the little Cowboy section and just hanging out, cheering on to the draft picks and stuff. So to actually be there every year, the last couple of years is crazy to me. Like, I look around and I'm like, I'm in here, like right here where everything's going on. Like, it's just amazing, man.
Yeah.
And Roger, I know everybody hates Roger, but even myself, I'm saying, but he's an awesome dude. Like, he loves the fans and he loves to come take pictures and do autographs and all that. So, yeah.
Now, a lot of people I was mad at the NFL for one thing. I remember when we was in Kansas City and you had texted everybody, hey, they are letting me pick the Cowboys pick.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm calling my wife. Hey, set the record. Hey, Super Cowboys gonna make the pick, everything. And dude, they did not show you live. I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken, and it wasn't even me, man. I was just wanting to say, hey, there's Super Cowboy. But other than that, how was the experience, man, making the pick for the Cowboys?
Dude, it's so hard to explain, man. Like, first of all, I'm gonna say I'm a very shy person. Like, without the mask, if I'm in a new place with people, like, I'm just quiet. I'm not a big personality. I'm not like, I'm not very social, really, like, without the mask. Like, I just do my thing and that's it, man. Like, I don't know how I was able to go on that stage, and I didn't know it was not going to be on TV. So I'm thinking, like, millions of people are going to watch this.
Right.
So I didn't know that. I just saw the sea of red of Kansas City Chief fans there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I kept talking to Princess Angie, and I was like, you know what? She's just like, just go up there and remember, you have a mask on. They don't know who you are.
Exactly.
If
Yes.
you screw up, you screw up. If whatever happens, happens. But you have the mask on and just go up there and just do your thing. And I'm thinking in my head, like, what do I do? Like, what do I say? You know, I know I have to read off the card, but I don't want to just read off the card. I want to, like, you know, make a stance or say something, you know? So
Right.
before my pick, they had a Mexican soccer player called the pick, a couple picks before me, I think, or the one before me. And he goes up there and he says a bad word in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm looking and I'm like, no, what do you mean? What did you say that? I'm like, oh, man, now I'm up. You know, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? So I'm thinking the whole time, and I kid you not, I probably went to the restroom about 10 or more times. Constantly, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like, so nervous, man. Then it sent me to the back, and I'm sitting there waiting for my turn to come up. And I don't think a lot of people know there's like a TV back there, and it has the picks.
Mhm.
You know, who's up next. This is something like behind the scenes stuff. And I tried to take pictures, and they took my phone away. I was only able to get one picture of the backstage.
Right.
And then I saw my pick, and it said like Cowboy Guest. And because they asked me like, what's your name? And I said, well, my name's Miguel, but it'd be cool if you say Super Cowboy. And they're like, Super Cowboy? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay. So I don't even know if they actually said my name when I came out or not. If they announced me, I don't even remember, to tell you the truth. But I go out there, and I'm thinking someone's going to be with me. I didn't think they were just going to be like, all right, go ahead. So I'm walking up the- they give me the card. He like, here's the card. Here's how you pronounce the name. And there's the stairs. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just like walking up the stairs. And I kind of like peeped out there, and I was like, I'm going to give him the old cowboy walk. So I walk up, I step up there like this, and then I go like this with the card in my hand, and then I give him the, how about them Cowboys? And everybody, the whole crowd was boo. And
Of
I'm going
course.
like, with my hands like, yeah, go ahead, give it to me. But dude, I was like so nervous, man. Like seriously, and I read it. I read the with the whatever pick, my Dallas Cowboys select, blah blah blah. And then at the end, I say like something in Spanish, like "Viva los Vaqueros de Dallas, Viva Mexico," and then I turn around and I point to my name, Super Cowboy, and I walk off. And on the way out, everybody, dude, security. People just standing around, they're like, dude, that was cool, man, that was badass. And I don't know, it's not on TV, so I'm like proud, like I actually did this.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is cool, like hell yeah. And then people start messaging me like, hey, when are you supposed to come up? And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we didn't see you. I was like, oh snap. So that's when I started getting texts like, dude, they didn't put you on TV. They were just talking to each other. I was like, damn, man, that sucks.
bro, because I went back, because this was day 3 of the draft.
Yes.
We had left, and I remember when you texted us, we were flying home just so we could try to watch it, right?
Yeah.
I got there after your pick. So I'm like, I'm rewinding and everything, man. We gotta see Super Cowboy,
Yeah.
and it was just a bunch of talking. I was like, where is he? Did I miss him? And when you responded to everybody, and everybody's like, man, they didn't show him. And man, I was so ticked off, man, because I thought it was gonna be perfect. I mean, because a lot of people don't know that you do have your own show with Princess Angie and everything. Yeah. And I was like, man, that's going to be a great show open. You making a pick at the draft. You got the big stage, and I thought it was going to be cool. But boo to the NFL. Let's boo Roger Goodell for that, even though he had nothing to do with it. Boo.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who had that call. I don't know if they said, hey, we're not going to show this one. Because then after that, they showed the next one. So I don't know what happened, to tell you the truth. and all you could see it because I went back and looked, and all you could see is my feet. They have monitors, and all you see up there, like I'm standing on the stage talking. But I mean, still experience, man. Like one in a lifetime to be able to do that in front of the people that were there. It was pretty awesome, and Princess Angie was able to capture that on video. So I have the video of me actually going up there and doing the whole thing. It's something unbelievable, man. That I would never, ever forget.
Now we were talking the other day about you posting things on TikTok. That's something that you need to put on TikTok. You need to make a video and put that on TikTok. Now I want to get into the Cowboys, man. Now, what made you fall in love with the Cowboys? Because you're a Southern Cal kid. The Raiders was there. The Niners was north of you guys. The Chargers was south of you guys. What made you choose the Cowboys, brother?
So, in 1992, I had an older friend that was in high school, and he kept talking about a Super Bowl. Oh, there's a Super Bowl party coming up, and I don't even remember the teams, but he kept saying something about a Super Bowl party, and I wanted to go to this party. I was a kid. I think I was like 10 years old at the time, and I was like, I want to go to this Super Bowl party, and didn't know anything about it. So I asked my mom, because it was her friend's son. And I asked my mom, and I said, they're talking about doing a Super Bowl party. I would like to go. I don't know what it is. I don't know. What is it? It just sounds cool. Super Bowl. And it's a party. Who doesn't want to do that?
Right.
So she's like, let me call, my friend. She calls her friend, and then she tells me, like, no, you can't go. I'm like, well, why not? It's like, no, there's going to be drinking. There's going to be drinking there and smoking, and it's not for kids. It's not for you to be there. Like, I don't think you should go. And his mom says too that it's going to be older kids there, and no. And I was like, what? I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna watch this. It's probably it's gonna be on TV, so I'm gonna watch this Super Bowl then. I can't go to the party. I'm gonna watch it. And the Super Bowl was in California. It was in Pasadena. So I saw people with jerseys, but I didn't know what it was,
Right.
I saw Cowboy jerseys and Bills jerseys, and I didn't know what it was. So I watched that 93 Super Bowl, and I was just memorized, man. I was just like, this is the most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, what is this? Where has this been all my life? Like, how come no one ever told me about this? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, from the performances to everything, I just loved it, man. I was like, this is so cool. And then the Cowboys just whooped on the Bills, you know what I'm saying? Badly. Right. I was like, oh, man, this team is awesome. I love the star. I love their colors. They're from Texas. I'm like, okay. So from then on, I always had that fascination of that Cowboy team, So from then on, anytime that it was on TV, I was always trying to watch it. I was like, oh, that's the Cowboys. I bought a hat. I had one of the, I don't know if you ever remember, they started selling hats, but they had headphones in them. They had a radio.
Oh, yeah.
You put the little headbuds on there, and then you put them in your ears. Yeah. Well, I had a Dallas Cowboy one, and I love that hat. I had it everywhere. I took it everywhere, and then from then on, it just progressed, right? Like, just more of a fan. Through high school, I followed them. I finally got a jersey. So I never had a jersey until I was in high school. And my first jersey, I was a big fan of Emmitt Smith. So my first jersey is an Emmitt Smith jersey, which is right here. This is the one I bought.
Okay.
This is it. I still have it. I kept it. And then out of high school, my mom doesn't drive. She doesn't have a car. To this day, she doesn't drive. She's never driven. So until I was able to drive and buy a car, that's when I knew that the Cowboys were coming to training camp in Oxnard. Mm-hmm. So then I started driving to Oxnard. I was, I'm about an hour away from Oxnard. So every training camp, I was there every day, checking out, all the players. Quincy Carter was at the time the quarterback. So I went through all those, Vinny Testaverde, Bledsoe. I saw all those guys in training camp in Oxnard. So that's when the fandom started growing more, you know, out of high school. Now you're watching more games, your friends, this and that. They go for a certain team. So that's how it kind of progressed. And then move forward to 2016 is when I started doing the whole Super Cowboy thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can just automatically assume Emmitt Smith is your all-time favorite Cowboy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I took his jersey to Vegas because, you know, he does signings in Vegas. And I was like, he's here. I'm going to go take this jersey. And this is back when I lived in California. I'm like, I might get this jersey signed. And I go, and they wanted some crazy amount of money for my own jersey to get signed. Right. And I was like, man, I was so bummed, man. Like, I didn't have enough money for that. So what I had enough money for was a big picture of him breaking the record. I think that was like $125 or something like that. And I bought that. I got to meet him. It was real cool. Like, he met the whole family, took pictures with everybody. I showed him the jersey. He saw it and he looked at it. He's like, oh, yeah, man, this is a starter jersey? He's like, yeah, this is old school right here. And I said, no, that's my first Cowboy jersey ever. I said, I wanted to get signed, but, you know, he wouldn't even budge. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yep, I'm going to sign this poster that you paid for. So he signed the poster and whatever. But move forward to last year, I was actually invited to a 90s Cowboys reunion, man. That kind of changed my life, man, to be actually in the same room with Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Moose, you know, everybody there, bro. Like, and then just being like a private event to be able to get invited to something like that, you know. But then at the same time in my head, I was like, this is the chance to get him to sign this jersey, man.
Right.
So I took
Perfect
the jersey.
timing.
I took the jersey with me, and long story short, they got signed. And I took a picture with Emmitt. So
that's awesome. Well, man, I got two more subjects for you.
Now,
you started your Super Cowboy show with your co-host Princess Angie. When did that start?
That started 2 seasons ago. That was 2022 season, I believe. That's when we started, summer 2022 or 2021. 2022, I think. So it's been 2 seasons. We had it for 2 years. This is going to be our 3rd season. We just started our 3rd season a couple weeks ago, which that was a blast, man, with Sir Earl Toon and we had Chaz Green there too. So it's been going well. You know, we're starting up, so we are going through the ups and downs and different studios, and now we finally have our studio here in Grand Prairie, which you got to come check out when you're here. Okay. It's a pretty cool studio by Epic Waters. We're doing the show there, and it's been fun. It's been growing. We've been doing a lot of cool things with it. The Super Bowl, that was another thing that I've been blessed with, man. Been invited to go cover the Super Bowl. Like, I had Mahomes right here in front of me, asking him dumb questions that I come up with, Andy Reid and stuff like that. So with the show, we've been doing some pretty awesome things, and then getting invited to the draft, that kind of brings a little bit excitement to the show too, that we're there inside and doing different videos and stuff like that, which I have to get a little bit better with. There's so many videos and so many things I have on my phone that I've never posted. Like, I'm so bad at posting, so I got to start posting more stuff of the stuff we've done. But the show has been going great. Yeah.
See, this is when you need a teenager in your life, like a niece or nephew that stay on social media. All you do is send them the videos, post it for me. Because I know you have a lot of especially with all the places and people you've met. I was like, why is your TikTok page not blowing up? Why is your YouTube page not blowing up? I know you're very popular on Facebook, everything like that. But these other social medias, I figure, man, Super Cowboy should have over 100,000 followers. Period. Yeah, because people recognize. I've been to Cowboy games with you. You can't do 2 steps without taking a picture. 2 steps, take a picture. 2 steps, take a picture.
Even my brother that does Super Ram, the last time we played the Rams last year, he's like, dude, I've never taken so many pictures in my life.
Exactly. So I've been and imagine if you were charging like Emmitt, you can afford a lot of these trips, wouldn't you?
I'll be throwing money, man. Everybody tells me to charge too. Like people take pictures with me and they're like, "You should be charging." I'm like, "Nah, man. I do this. I do this for fun."
Yeah, because that defeat the purpose, because you're a fan just like they are. Okay.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
going to a Cowboy game is an experience because people save a lot of money to go to one game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cowboy games ain't cheap. If you ever been there or if you ever want to go there, I'm gonna tell you, save now. Get to saving. You may have to donate a kidney or something. Hey, you may have to because they're not cheap. But that's part of the experience, man. Because when people see you, I see the expression on their face, how excited they get. They're like, I mean, they're scrambling to get to their phone to get to the picture. And I was just like, hey, Miguel got another one. He got another fan for life.
And they apologize. I get a lot of people apologizing because they're not ready. They see me and they're like, oh, and they start looking for their phone and they're going through like all their apps and stuff. And I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm cool and collective. I'm like, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Like, I ain't no rush. This is what I do. Like, I love to do this. So whenever you guys are ready, you take the picture. That's all good. Like, I'm not one of those like, hurry up, take the picture. Like, I got to get out of here. Hurry up,
Well, see, it's funny. I'm not even a tenth as popular as you are at Cowboy games, but my wife has been with me at Cowboy games, and don't let nobody recognize me because next thing you know, we're taking pictures, we're talking, we're taking shots. My wife is like, "How do you do that?" I said, "Babe, this is just fun to me because going to a Cowboy game is just a big community of people just having a good time together.
Yes.
It's just we just want to have a good time, and hopefully we get a win."
We want to win because it's even better. But really, like even in tough losses or anything like that, like right after the game, people are pissed off, and then they see me, and that's the cool thing about doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like they see me and they're pissed, but they're like, "Oh, dude, I gotta get a picture with you, bro." And then they're all smiling in the picture, and then they go back to being sad again because they lost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the thing that. I know a lot of people wear a mask for fun and all that, and different fans do it for their own way, which I'm all about it. But it started fun for me, and now it's just opening a bunch of doors with doing stuff with the community, doing stuff for tailgates, doing, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that to help out in any way that I can. Like, you got something going on, let me know, like One Star One Family, SCDC, Hard Hitters. They could hit me up and say, hey, we need to get some funds together or whatever it is. And I always tell them, let me know. I'm here. I'll show up. I'll go to your watch parties. Like, I'm that kind of person that I'm not going to be like, oh, no, I'm not going there. Or I'm not doing this. I'll go wherever you guys want me to go. I'm there.
Exactly, man. And that's what I love about you.
Appreciate it.
Man, we always end the show with 20 hot questions for my guests. It's called either or. You just choose which one that fits your personality.
All right.
And man, and we can rock and roll, and then that'll be all my time for you. Okay, brother?
All right, cool.
So just let me know when you're ready. We can go.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, Super Cowboy. 1st and 10 or 4th and inches?
4th and inches.
Man to man or zone?
Man to man.
Run or pass?
I'm old school. Run.
Offense or defense?
Defense, baby. Let's go deep.
Cheer for or be cheered?
Cheer for sure.
16-1 or championship?
Championship all day.
Ring or Hall of Fame?
Oh, ring. For me, ring.
Okay.
I want that ring. Definitely.
Play the game or coach the game?
Play for sure.
Mountains or beach?
Mountains.
Truck or car? I know this answer. Truck or car?
Truck.
Grass or turf?
Grass.
Indoors or outdoors?
Depends what stadium, but I like outdoors. And as long as it's not hot as hell, I like outdoors.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Beef or chicken?
Beef.
Tecmo Bowl or Madden?
I was a Madden guy. Madden, 90s. So Madden for sure.
LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan, man, hands down.
DeMarco Murray or Ezekiel Elliott?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go Zeke just because I like his "Let's eat, baby." I used to wear that on my gloves. Let's eat.
Yeah.
Feed me.
All right. Tom Landry or Jimmy Johnson?
I'm old school, man. I like Tom. That's a hard one, man. That's kind of even for me because I like Tom, how he was, how he dressed. You know what I'm saying? Very quiet. I like that, but I also like Jimmy and how he used to get on them, man. So that's a hard one, bro. That's a hard one.
You gotta choose one though.
Jimmy.
Jimmy. All right.
Jimmy.
Troy Aikman or Tony Romo?
Oh, you know who's behind me, right? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, who's this over? You know who's behind me, right? But the black ball is Troy Aikman also.
We'll let you say both on that one, okay?
Thank you.
Now, Super Cowboy.
Yes, sir.
This is the most important question of all of my guests. Okay, I really want you to think about this. Okay.
All right.
Whataburger or In-N-Out?
You want me to think about it? There's no thinking. In and out, baby.
No.
But there's a long answer to that. It's not A or B. That's the issue. It's not A or B. It's a long thing about the burger, how it comes, and is the Whataburger bigger? Yes. Can you add jalapenos and all kinds of stuff to it? Yes. But like a plain Whataburger and a plain In-N-Out, I'm sorry, but I'm going with In-N-Out.
We were friends, Super Cowboy. You know I love you. I love your family. You know. When you invited me to the fight party and your wife made that wonderful dish that I can't remember the name of that I've been trying to get back over there to get, I thought we were family.
Sopopitos, or what were you calling them? Sopopitos.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so delicious. Oh
Sopitos.
God, that was so awesome.
So I went down a notch on you. I'm down a notch. What? Okay. In-N-Out, you're down a notch.
Okay, but I guess we can be friends again.
Sorry, Texas people. Sorry.
Well, Super Cowboy, man, before we end the show, you got any final thoughts, anything you want to tell your fans, the people?
I haven't really announced it, but I'm going to announce it now. There's been a couple of people that have nominated me for the Fan of the Year for this year. So I'm going to start asking people on social media if it's in them and they think that I should be this year's Fan of the Year. If they could fill out a nomination on the Captain Morgan website. So that's kind of my big thing that I wanted to say, and I'm saying it here in your show. If you think that Super Cowboy should represent the Dallas Cowboys this year as Fan of the Year for 2024, I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to be posting all the information to ask for on there. And then hopefully with your guys' help, maybe Super Cowboy will be 2024 Dallas Cowboys not super, but Fan of the Year.
All right. Hey, and Super Cowboy, man, tell them all your social medias.
Instagram _Super Cowboy, TikTok @Super Cowboy, and the YouTube channel is the Super Cowboy Show, guys. We're trying to grow that, so if you guys can follow us, subscribe to the Super Cowboy Show. And then we have Facebook, Super Cowboy, just like Beetlejuice, but you only say it twice. And X, you got @Super Cowboy on there.
All right, man. But say, man, this has been fun, Miguel, man. Once again, appreciate you joining us, man. Hey, tell the family I said, hey, I'll see you at some of the games. I'll be at the San Francisco game,
Okay.
and I believe Thanksgiving, and I believe the Texans. Okay. Oh, because I hadn't made my move to California yet. That's not until the 20th of next month. So,
okay. There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and open up a Whataburger franchise in San Francisco. But all right, brother. Hey, man, once again, thank you, man. That's been our show. Hey, man, like and subscribe to us, man. And like I always say, Dallas Cowboys for life.
Let's
We'll see you next
go.
time. Peace.
Let's go.